Here with us now is Kathy Stokes, the Director of Fraud Prevention for AARP's Fraud Watch Network. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
This is terrifying. We've been talking about this in the newsroom. It could happen to anybody. Scams using AIs are popping up everywhere. How common have they become here, Kelly?
Well, ridiculously common, unfortunately. The games behind this are pretty much transnational, but because it's so game now, because of generative artificial intelligence, it can be a single person, again, just buying some access to these tools, buying some lead lists off the dark web, and scaling these attacks.
I'm looking at the screen right now. $33,000, almost $34,000 is an average amount lost by an elder fraud victim. What are the top types of scams and frauds that are currently being reported?
Yeah, there are a lot of them. One of the most pernicious is the tech support scam, where you could be on your laptop and then up pops a notification. It says it's from Microsoft or Norton or somebody, and there's a problem with your computer. Call this number. It's all a scam to get you to pay for something that's not a problem, or they remote into your computer and they access your bank accounts and wipe you out. That's a big one. Personal data breaches is where they're phishing for you, trying to get you to give them information that they can later use to target you in a scam. We've got the romance scams, online, building a trust relationship over time and then deceiving you to send money or launder money. Confidence scams is like what you were hearing with the mother in Arizona. It happens with grandparents as well. You've got non-payment scams where you think of like selling something on a marketplace online and somebody sends you a check and it ends up bouncing, that kind of thing. Or non-delivery, you buy something online and it never comes, or whatever comes is inferior. And then investment scams, which is huge right now. And that can begin with somebody sending you a text that seems to be an error, and you're nice and you respond back and say, hey, you got the wrong number, which begins a conversation, which begins a relationship, which begins a trust relationship, which begins a cryptocurrency investment scam that is destroying lives.
And I just want to stress how common this is, because scams targeting people over the age of 60 can cause over $3.4 billion. That's just last year, up 11%. So what makes this group more of a risk? And you were going to say something, Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say that 3.4 billion doesn't even come close to telling the story, because fraud is so underreported. A lot of that has to do with people not even understanding it's a crime, people not knowing where to report, people being embarrassed, ashamed. They had a crime committed against them, yet they're embarrassed and ashamed, and they're blaming themselves because we tend to blame them. There's a lot of it going on, and it's only going to get worse.
So is there anything we can do? Can we use technology to help detect these scams?
Well, sure. I mean, there are things that we can do to try to sort of harden the target, if you will. Like, we need to make sure that our operating systems on our devices are up to date, because when you get that patch, it's sometimes because there's a known vulnerability. Same thing with your antivirus software. Strong and unique passwords is a must. We got to get rid of passwords and move on to biometrics or other means of authenticating, because we all tend to use the same or similar passwords, putting all of our accounts at risk. But when it comes to this confidence scam, if you get a call from your grandkid or your daughter and they're in trouble, this is really hard to hear, but disengage. Hang up that phone and make a call to that daughter or granddaughter, or if you don't have the direct contact because it's a grandkid, call your daughter or your son and say, where's Mikey? Is he okay? Hard to do, but I'm going to tell you, in 100% of these cases, it's a scam. Some people say use a safe word, come up with a word, I don't know, lightning strikes or something, so that you can say, hey, Mikey, what's the safe word? The problem with that is that the criminal's trying to get you into a heightened emotional state. And if you're there, you're not going to remember anything about a safe word. But if you know about the scam coming into it, maybe that will help you.
Well, this advice is incredible. We hope you come back. Kathy Stokes, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.